Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes. What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed. Nitro is truly the glory. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 150 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host. If you don't know who I am by now, at episode 150 then. But if you're just joining us for the first time ever, my name is Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great. To my left in the virtual world is my co-host, who's been helping me out a lot lately, the arrogant one, Max Mort. What's up, Max?
Yeah. What's up, everyone?
Max just woke up, everybody.
We've been on the podcast. Yeah, I took a nap. I almost missed it, but I made it in time, so
Okay.
we're good. We're good for the show.
Yeah, JQ is going to be joining us here later on. Please, everybody, share this. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, so share this. I know it's a little early, so I wasn't expecting we'll get many people on here, but I thought it was important that we do this with Max and we do this with Joseph because they've been very much involved, among others, in making this 3 years go by and making us and getting us to 150 episodes. So, please share. Excuse me, I'm a little bit cold. I got a little bit of cold myself, but I'll be fine. First off, I gotta thank everybody. So I just want to shout out and say thank you to everybody that has made this happen. I was looking, that's 150 episodes. That's 149 more than Joseph ever thought I'd do. So he actually sent me some congratulations in private, which I thought was pretty cool. And I appreciate that. And I just have to say thank you to you guys because none of this would have been possible without you guys putting up with janky audio, janky accents, and fumbling and bumbling that I do and that we do, and just the antics that we get up to. But it's been an awesome 3 years. We're going to talk about that more, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody around the world, all the people that I've met through this podcast and just RC in general in the last 3-4 years. Wow, I can't express my feelings and how awesome I think that is. So thank you guys for that. Shout out to the Nnrc squad around the world, man. Also, big shout out to all the patrons of the podcast. What, man? Daiquiri, man, hitting us up with that super chat right off the bat. I do not know who this guy is, man. I've been trying to figure him out who he is all this time. I thought I figured out who he was, but it wasn't him. So thank you, man. Yes, we're gonna talk. We're gonna open up. We're gonna have you guys. We're gonna talk. I know you guys have questions, and I know people are driving to AMS and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk about that. But we're gonna do all of this in a minute. In a minute, everybody. But thank you, Daiquiri Man, for that. Hey, you guys, we have that that super chat. If you feel like being generous on the 150 episode, we are accepting tips today. So thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So with that said, thank you to the patrons of the podcast. You guys help keep these bills paid. We just got some new patrons. I greatly appreciate it. And man, those guys, some of them have been there from the inception. I greatly appreciate that as well. We can't do it without you guys. If you wish to be a patron of the podcast, the link is in the written description of this podcast. Also, we wouldn't be anywhere without the sponsors of the podcast. And remember what I say, showing the sponsors some love, shows the podcast some love. We are going into a new year. Some sponsors will stay, some sponsors will go. Next year, we're taking a little different approach. We're having a limited amount of sponsors, and we hope that your company can be a part of that. If you can, shoot me a message, and we'll get some of our sponsorship and advertising tiers out to you because we plan on doing some even bigger things in 2022. Isn't that right, Max? Even though he's got me muted. So go ahead, say something.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Nnrc Cup will be bigger. It will be better.
Yep.
Everything else around that will be really good. And I think just the basic podcast structure will be sort of more enjoyment for the people. And I think 2022 will be big for the podcast for RC in general too, right?
Yeah. We're going to like 2 episodes a week when it's big races and stuff like this, and in general, just trying to shorten it up a little bit, not give you guys 5. I know some of you like 5-hour podcasts. Still gonna be 5-hour podcasts, just split it into 2. So with that said, I just want to say thank you to the awesome sponsors that have been a part of this podcast, and they are Mayako. Can't wait. Car's supposed to be re-released very soon. Very, very excited about that. Beach RC has been a long time sponsor. I rocked this shirt from rcgp. TNR Fuels, High Tech RCD, Techno RC, another long time sponsor. Sun City RC Raceway, JQ Scale Motorsports, Donovan RC, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, Racecraft USA, Lugs Racing Tires, rcgp, House of RC. I'm probably missing somebody. RCMX. Yeah, I want to shout out to my boy Eddie Fikes and his Uncle Eddie's his seasoning that I'm rocking, and I love it. My wife's cooking with it. What's up, Lance? How you doing? What's up, Corey? How you guys doing? We're going to talk about a little bit of AMS today, and I want to shout out to So Dialed app. Very good app. I pay for it, even though I don't race. Joe's a good dude. I think it's good. Check it out if you guys can. Things like that are going to make RC so much easier for everybody. I think it's good things. But thank you to the sponsors. If you guys wish to save some money with some coupon codes, affiliate links, not all of our sponsors have that. You can find the links in the written description of this podcast. Just before we go on any further, we want to do a levels check. Am I coming through clear for everybody? And is Max coming through? If we need to adjust our volume, please let us know. We will do that. All right, Max. So, should we bring him in? He's here.
Oh, JQ?
Yeah, we should bring in the man. So,
yeah, let's bring in the man.
Because he wants to talk about AMS too. So let's bring him in.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hello, Joe. What's this hat you're wearing?
I'm Norwegian now.
I see that, but what is it for?
I wasn't allowed to be Finnish, so now I support Norway.
You apply for citizenship again?
Yep.
And got denied?
I haven't got a reply yet. No. I need proof that I can speak Finnish.
Oh, really?
So I'm working on that.
Well, don't worry. I'm jumping through hoops to get my son's English passport right now. It's a lot of hoops that I'm jumping through. Thank you, Mario, for that show 150. Hey, Luca's getting tall. Luca's taller than him now.
Someone posted a super chat. Did you see that?
Yep, Robert Parenti. Thank you, dude.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Getting to know him in the Discord. Oh yeah, don't forget our Discord. We're almost at 200 members. We're gonna get to 200. I've been kind of quiet this week. I wrote a blog today. It took my brain 2 weeks to do that blog almost, and Max helped me put it nice, and it's all on House of RC. It's about this awesome season in racing we have had in USA this year. So check that out.
It's actually a pretty good read. Like I was a bit surprised. It was pretty comprehensive. It wasn't as bad as usually Keenan writing is, but he's definitely stepped up this time.
I do not claim to be a wordsmith or a man of proper English at all. So there's a warning on there. It's just like it's diarrhea in my head. It just comes out through my fingers. I don't know how it gets from her to her, but it does, and it doesn't sound too good because, I talk too much.
I had some secret shit in shot. I just noticed.
Maybe we got to bump up your volume. Anyway, guys, we are here to do a couple of things. We want to hang out with you guys. For a bit, we want to talk about AMS, which is a lot of people are driving towards because this race is very important, very significant in a lot of things in RC. And of course, we want to celebrate doing 150 episodes. 149 more than this guy right here in the upper right hand corner ever thought I would do. And thank you, Joseph, for the private thank you from you and the other person.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. I have water today. I didn't bring any beer. I am drinking beer now and then. So, and I just want to say shout out to this guy right here because he's helped me a lot as well. He can't be here today because he's working, but he will be with me next week when we do a live, hopefully with Tebow. If he wins, I hope he wins because then it'll be even better. And of course, don't forget the blog on House of RC. And he calls a novel. I told Connie it was going to be long. I was supposed to be finished this last Friday, but I never got to it. My brain, my creative part shuts off from now and then. So, anywho, guys, episode 150, Joseph and Max. Amazing, isn't it?
It is.
I think it's pretty
I'm
amazing.
a bit surprised as well. I mean, you've been going strong this past, let's say, year and a half. So
Yeah.
You definitely stepped up your game.
And also, you've had less emotional meltdowns. They were more frequent before.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just out of it, so I don't know about your meltdown.
Yeah,
I've
I'd say the latter, but
your handlers.
Yeah, you know, I deal less with you, Joseph, so that there inherits less stress for me. So, you know, we kind of just plan everything and then show you and then be like, all right, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toby. What's up? Toby's also been on this podcast, and I hope to utilize him a little bit more in the coming year. With his awesome, he travels a lot, goes to races. So anyway, guys, first off, we're gonna talk about AMS. But before that, you know, we can't go further without paying some bills. So we're going to pay some bills first before I go on. And this podcast is brought to you by Lugs Racing. They have over 55 combined years of experience in RC. They have been testing treads, wheels, and rubber for the best performance for their customers. You have the Lugs Econ tires, which were developed with racing budgets in mind. High quality but lower cost means that savings can be passed on to you, the racer. They also have their premium line of tires, Lugs that provide pure performance using their custom molds and proprietary rubber compound. The tires are now available in medium, soft, super soft, mega soft, and now long wear. You can visit www.lugs.com and you can use the promo code Nnrc Lugs and save some money. I know they were suffering from COVID and getting stock in, but I think they're in a better position. They're looking for team drivers. So check out Lugs and show the podcast some love and you'll save some money. All right, guys. So here we are. It's November, dude. We have the last big race of the year, which is Alabama Manufacturers Shootout. They switched the year last year to November. This race used to be in June, which I think is actually a good thing because in June it was hot as balls in there because I actually have attended this race. It was the last time that I actually officially raced something. 2018.
The same place?
Yeah, same place in Coleman, Alabama.
You used to have a lot of elevation.
Well, the year that I went to was an awesome track to drive on, but it was definitely a deadly track. It had I'm surprised nobody got hurt, but it had this awesome crossover that you jumped into a quad, I believe. But you had to jump the quad because there's just triple, double, or double. It was impossible to double it consistently. But man, it was like when you sent your car, you know how you get that feeling, you're like, ooh, I'm flying through the air. There we go. I can hit brakes. And it was just like, so you had so much time. So this was the last official time that I raced there. I had a blast, but it's in November now. It's going to be cold there. This is the last race where we're going to see everybody, pretty much everybody. We are missing some drivers, but I think we have pretty much every top driver you can imagine attending this race, except people like Cole Tallard, Aiden Horn is in there. But man, it's going to be stacked. It's the final race of what I think has probably been one of the best seasons of racing in RC, in 8-scale racing in America. I can't really count Europe because we only had 2 real races there. But, man, what a season it's been. And we have a lot to talk about. So where do we want to, where's the notes, Max? Because you did these notes. They did do the track walk. Let's see, I do actually have a picture of the track here. So
let's put the picture up so
let me bring this up.
We can discuss the track.
And
because I think the track was a bit different than race time tracks usually are. Not crazy different, but a lot more sort of. It doesn't look like the jumps are that crazy. There's a big triple on the right, but apart from that, the jumps are pretty good sized. Well, so I think that will be good.
I just gonna tell you guys that this is not a very big arena. I think this is probably the smallest arena on the race times stop. So I was listening to Bobby Moore and Dave as they did their track walk, which I have to I have to complain about one thing. Bobby Moore and Dave, can we please do the track walks in landscape mode? Please, please, please. And not like vertical mode. You can't really see the track. But they did it. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they were going for a more technical track. They want some longer laps, like 28, 29 seconds on a pro stance. So I think they just did a good job. I like it. No elevation this time, which is fine. Bobby, I remember in the year I went, he had put big 2 mounds of dirt up her and her. And they have figured out a way to use every little bit of dirt a little bit on this race. And I like the track. it's not gonna. Well, I don't know if it got rough last year. I can't remember, but when I went there, it didn't get rough. It stays pretty good, but with the cold weather, I think it's gonna be a big difference. So I guess we'll start with you, Max. What's your thoughts on this AMS 12.0 track?
Yeah, I really dig the right side of the track. The sort of triple doubles and angled. That looks really cool. I think there's enough room to easily clear the doubles, so it's not a huge difficulty. But you kind of have to angle your car to keep it fast and keep the pace up, and then sort of the long corner that drops in the end. I really dig that. I think the right side is really cool. Left side is a bit more simple, sort of 90, then the jumps, and 180, then again a 90, jump, 180. The little jump in the middle, I'm not sure. That looks like it will break up. Hard to know if they've packed it really well.
They have.
So that really small bump. I think this dirt is probably the most packed of the race time races, so it generally doesn't get really rough. So yeah, I think it'll be a good event. I really like the sort of right side. I want to see someone like Fenn go through there. So yeah, I'm excited for sure.
How about you, Beaker? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I've been here one time a few years ago, and I liked it. Yeah, the track looks good. Nothing too crazy, it seems. Should be a good race.
I didn't realize you went to this race. Who did you go to this race with?
It was, I can't remember.
Was it
a year?
Was it? It had to be.
It was already with it was already with the JQ, and I stayed with the Reed family. It was super nice.
Oh yeah. I remember you telling me about that. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. What's up, Uncle? How you doing? What's up, Vicky Payne? That must be what's up, Tony Newland? How you doing, man? Clinic RC. Let's see what else here. I think it's gonna be good. The one good thing about this track is that we're going to get really good coverage. We're supposed to get really good coverage from live RC. So this track isn't too big. So I think with a couple moving cameras, it's fine. Maybe a stationary camera to switch things. I did watch Blue Ridge Nationals 2 weeks ago, and live RC was there. And I have to say that Joseph, they had really good cameras. They were I think they were testing out new stuff for this. Basically what I'm trying to say is I think we're going to get really great coverage from this race because it's just a small track. It's well lit. And I think it's going to be great. Like, we're going to be able to see everything on this, unlike we couldn't see at Silver State. But, excuse me, I'm looking forward to what Live RC brings. Hopefully they go the whole way and they get out to do interviews with people and all that stuff. But
which days
it's like
is
DNC.
The coverage?
Excuse me?
Which days do they do the coverage?
Don't know. I would have to contact Lance. If anybody knows when does coverage start, or if anybody's at the race and they can ask Dave, we would like to know because we are planning to talk about this on Friday, so we need some coverage, right, Max?
Yeah, for sure. But I think one thing that's going to be much easier for the coverage is the race format because they're now using, finally, the first race in America to use the sort of RC2 style race format. So it's really going to be put to the test of how it works for sort of Southeast big races. I'd say this is Southeast. And yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to see sort of controlled practice and proper qualifying, proper track time, and then what they call Super Pole round in the end, which is 10-minute races, which sounds pretty cool. So yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities for good action. And I think it allows for better coverage on its own as well. So, yeah.
Real quick, Joseph, because
the last qualifying round will be racing, so there's more to watch also, more excitement.
Wow, yeah, you just broke up really weird just now. Can you repeat that?
I said that the last qualifying round is racing, so it will be more exciting to watch also on the stream.
Yeah, Joseph, it shocked me because I didn't know you was doing this, but you and Yeah, people want, if you can explain the format. I know a lot of people, I mean, Lance did explain it on the last podcast, Charlie, but I know you was kind of involved with this, Joseph. So can you just give people a quick synopsis, a quick summary of the format, please?
Actually,
it's
not exactly what I recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Am I breaking up again?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
So it's not exactly what I recommended. So let's see how it goes. But the basic idea is that they changed up the race by having a entry cap so that they could do a schedule. So everyone gets the same amount of practice. You don't have to stand in line. You don't need friends standing in line for you. Everyone gets the same amount of track time from the moment they hit the track to the time the main starts. So I think that's really good and fair. And then they'll have seeding. They'll redo the heats so that you're racing people of equal skill level. And then after that, their qualifying system is they don't time the whole time you're on the track. They take some laps, but I don't remember what they actually settled on now.
I think it was 5 laps overall, like 5 fastest laps.
Yeah, so your 5 best laps from that time, the average lap time of that's going to be your qualifying time. Or I don't know if they're
doing the average 3 laps from each qualifier. So
okay,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 5.
But anyway, it's not the entire time of the qualifying run, so it's just your best laps. And I actually think that this is the way we should qualify, because in every form of motorsport, qualifying is about speed, but for us, it's about consistency. So that means that we don't really see the best drivers trying to go for the best lap. They are going fast, yes, but they aren't going balls to the wall because they have to avoid mistakes, you know? So for qualifying, I actually think it would be better if we had a time, let's say 5 minutes on the track, and then all the top guys would just be going for the fastest possible laps they can do, because they know they only need 3 or 4 or 5 of them, whatever the rules are. So I hope that this is something that continues, that people enjoy this qualifying format and we start using this more in the future. And then, so as we said, the last round of qualifying will be racing. So people are racing each other, but they are racing each other in their group. So the fastest guys, whoever wins that fastest race, will be overall TQ. And if you break in that fastest race, you can't drop further down than that. If there's 12 cars in it, you'll be 12th overall. I believe that that's what they decided to do for this race. And then everyone gets a long main also at this race. So that's something good, because some of these races, if you are in the lower mains, sometimes you just get like a 6-minute main at 7 a.m. in the morning, and that's no fun really, is it? So I can't remember now what they made the mains. I think 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. Yes. Yeah, so everyone gets good track time.
Also, with the 3 consecutive laps, you can also come in. Okay, so you got 2 minutes warm up and you got 5 minutes. So you're really getting 7 minutes on the track. So with this track being so small, you can go out there, do some laps and say, hey, maybe you do a lap. I don't like these tires or something, or I want to change. You can actually come in. Lance actually made this a point of this. You could come in and do small, quick adjustments on your car and go back out there. You have enough time, and you'll get enough enough laps in 5 minutes on this track to do that. You know what I mean? So if a lap is roughly going to be 30 seconds, 31 seconds, you're looking at 2 laps a minute. So if you want to make some changes, you can bring your car in, make some quick changes, and maybe it's a tire change, maybe it's a ride height change, who knows, and go from there. So I'm very interested to see how this works. I think it's going to be good, and we'll see how it goes. I just wanted to touch on some things because we did cover this last week. I know this actual race got a lot of negativity from people because it's going up to $150 and it's capped and all this type of stuff. But I just wanted to, and I did this last week, and I think we guys have to kind of say kudos and shout out to Racetime Entertainment for doing this, because they honestly could have just went back to what they know best, which is as many entrants as they can and make as much money as they can, which they should, because they have to make money to make this race go. But I think that we have to give them some props. I mean, we've given Dave quite some crap, not a lot, but I know maybe I've pissed him off a few times, and I know you have too as well, Joseph. But I have to say that I actually think he cares, and to see things like this with, you know, I see the pride that he puts into his work. I see that he's trying different things. It started just with trophies last year and then better trophies this year. And I hope that this catches on, because this is very significant in RC. You know, here like Max said, we have the first real American race adapting a different format. American big race. I know there's other races out there that do this, but when I say I mean like a race of this magnitude. So it's going to be interesting to see how people like it. I hope they do. Maybe they'll make some tweaks and go into next year. But I think, like we said, there's room for those big mega entry races, and there's room for this and this type of race. And I think this will prove it.
Yeah, but the thing really that I'm personally most like annoyed by the comments is, yeah, you go to someone like PMB, you pay $270 effectively. You pay $270 to entry for that race. What you get is 3 qualifiers and a guaranteed 7-minute main. That's all you get per class. So you get three of those. So you get 9 qualifiers in it together, and then 3 6-minute mains. That's guaranteed to you for $270. Now you pay $150, you run 1 class, and you already get sort of more time on the track with 1 class than you will get with 3 classes. So if you would want to run 2 classes, let's say you want to run e-buggy and buggy, or let's go crazy, you want to run truggy as well, it's $450, but you're going to be running on that track non-stop. You have 3 30-minute mains on Sunday, or some on Saturday. Lower mains it's been running on Saturday. But the fact that you are paying more, but you're getting a lot more. The increase isn't that crazy. It's from 90 to 150. Mm-hmm. You're not even paying double the price, but you're getting, I'd argue, more than double the track time and more than double the experience. But it's not only about track time. It's also about enjoyment. I think the longest the day went was 8 p.m. So you don't have to stay at the track at 10, like you have to at DNC, for example, which is also a controlled race. It has controlled practice, all that. You have to stay at the track until 10 p.m., sometimes even 11, and you start at 6 or something. Now you go to the track, 8 was probably the earliest heat. Then at the latest, you leave at 8 p.m. You're guaranteed track time. You're guaranteed a qualifying race and a main final. Or a bumper final with 30-minute runtime. That is, to me, I would, just for those things, I would pay more. And I think when people actually go to this race and they run it and they realize that they have much more fun and they don't have to stay at the track all night to just run 6-minute mains, I think they will realize how much better this is. Because this race is built for the racers. This race isn't built to make money, really. But in the end, when people enjoy it, it will make probably more money than what the previous format was, because people want to get in. People want to race good races. People don't want to race bad races.
Yeah, I'm happy that they did this, but yeah, the qualifying is 3 consecutive, and that was one thing that I didn't agree with. I think it's better when it's any 3 laps or any 5 laps, because that's when you really see the top guys go for it. And that's when it's also is a situation where you can even come in the pits or tune your engine or do something like that. Or a back marker doesn't really matter so much. When it's 3 consecutive, you don't actually have the whole time to do it, because 3 laps takes 1.5 minutes, you know? So it changes it a bit. So I think it should always be a certain number of laps, but any laps within that time and the average of that. Also, I'm a bit worried about this, because they made some changes. Like, they had more classes than what I think a race like this can have. And also they made the mains longer than what I think that this kind of race can have. So they do have a schedule, but hats off to them if they stay on schedule at this race. I'm very curious to see, because I don't think they can do it.
if they go half an hour or hour after schedule, you're still getting out of there at 9. That's still a decent time to get out of there.
I mean, yeah, it's still better than normal, but I mean,
yeah. You'll definitely know
pretty tight.
approximately when you are running. So
I also don't think it filled up. I think they're maybe 50 entries shy. I think it was 350 entries.
Okay. No, I think it's like 15 entries.
Oh, okay.
Short. Yeah, it was pretty close though, because they were saying they were running out of space.
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, look, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest with you. I get it. People are like, well, race fees are going up. People have $800 worth of tires, and you're going to worry about a race fee? Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. The thing is...
You know what? Being as this is episode 150, go ahead. Finish what you're going to say, Max.
Yeah. The thing is, you're going to pay... what, $200 on fuel and $200, $300 on hotels. Then you spend $30 on food every day. All the expenses that go to going to this type of race. And then you're going to complain about $60. And the fact that you pay $60 to get double the track time and double the experience for your racing. I think I can understand that people say, okay, these fees go up because it feels bad to pay so much more for the entry, but in the end you need to realize that it's gonna be better for you. You're gonna have more enjoyment when you go to this race. You're gonna get more for your money, more for that money you pay to travel as well. So you can imagine that someone is gonna fly to this race, so that money you put on the plane ticket, every single lap you get on this track is a bonus.
Mm-hmm. And the good thing is I see I noticed this year that a lot of the West Coast guys, like California guys, like Ryan Reese, I don't think Pavitas is there this year, but Cody Thompson and those guys, like local SoCal racers, have gone to a lot of the race time events, which is great. So that's good to see. Look, Neo Buggy, when I tried to enter Neo Buggy, I think I paid $175 back in 2014, to enter that. And that race sold out completely. And had a waiting list of 100 plus people.
200 pounds. It was way over 200 pounds in the last years when he was at Harper Adams. But people still wanted to get in. It was always full. Mm-hmm. So you pay for good stuff.
In honor of him being awake and being on this live, I have something for the infamous Jay Smoker.
This is the ridiculous one, Jay Smoker, and you're listening to the No Name RC podcast. Ridiculous! Woo!
Hey,
it's been a while since I heard that.
I cannot wait to hear that Smoker say that in person, and then obviously by the end of the weekend, I'm gonna be tired of hearing it, but it'd be great. So what's up, Smoker? He says he wants to come on episode 169. So I guess we're gonna have him back on. Yeah. All right. So real quick, before we go on and start celebrating and take some questions, let's have a look at some of the entrants that's going to this race, because this race is super stacked, and there's a lot of people may not think this is an important race, but I think it's a very, very important race for confidence, maybe for sponsorship going into 2022, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys haven't got their deals finalized. And maybe for these up-and-coming guys, it's a race that they can win and boost their stock. And I think for some of these veteran guys, it's a race they have to win and keep their jobs or boost their stock. So let's have a quick look at some of the veterans that are going to be here. We're going to have Ryan Cavallari. He won this race last year. Adam Drake. We have, Ryan Lutz is there. Mayfield, Cole Ogden, Fenn, Rivkin, and then Seth Van Dalen, Tasman, Jared Tebow. Man, we have a stacked main herd. The only person we're really missing from this is Aiden Horn and Cole Tollard. But let's look at some of these guys. All right, let's go. The first person on the list here is Joe Bornhost. I'm hearing rumors about Bornhost. I don't know how true they are, but I think this race is super important for him. He just kind of needs to.
I'm hearing he might be out at Tech now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too. I'm hearing he might be like getting a real job. I don't know how true that is, but that's the rumors I'm hearing. I hope not, even though he doesn't like me too much, or you, Joseph, or Max, any of us here. I don't want to see Joe Bornhost out of RC. You know what I mean? So
we've all had run-ins with him, right?
You and him have had run-ins with him. I haven't had any, but he doesn't like me, and I understand that.
You weren't involved in the drone incident?
I'm sure he thought I was part of that, but I just happened to be sitting next to JB, and trust me, I tried to shrink myself, but that's obviously hard to do.
JB almost flew a drone in his head.
Yeah.
You can't miss his head, to be honest.
Now, see, I didn't mention his name to you to start insulting him.
The thing was, it almost hit the other guy worse than Joe.
It was bad. I
don't know why he was so mad. I mean,
it wasn't as bad as what came next, though. But this person right here, when he said what he said. Yeah. Anyway, do we have to go over this?
Let's go over it. Yeah.
So anyway, Joe Bornhost, JB almost hit Joe with the drone, and then JB got kicked out of the race for it. Joe obviously was pissed off at JB, and if you know who JB is, it's like 5'3", and Joe Bornhost is like 6'6". So you can imagine what type of confrontation that. And JB is not scared of anybody. And then when he came out, he was obviously pissed off, and he walked across. This is when JQ was stacked. We were stacked. We had 8 tents. We had people spilling out on his sides. It was full, like biggest pit you've ever seen. And then as he's walking across, giving JB and the whole JQ crew like the evil eye, somebody shouts out, "Average Joe!" And I just went.
But I mean, he said something.
No, he didn't say nothing. You just said, "Average Joe."
Something.
I didn't hear him say anything.
He said something to JB.
I didn't hear him say anything.
He did.
I just know he wanted to kill somebody, and he didn't want to kill you because you was too young. So I think he kind of picked on Mike Hill, and Mike Hill wasn't the one either because he's skinny, but he's something else.
But it was funny because none of us were like serious about it, but he was like super pissed.
Well, you know what, Max?
He was yelling, and we were just like looking at him.
It's called reading the room, Max, and that's something that you and JQ lack, reading the room. And just.
No, I think I read it perfectly.
This is funny. Trailer Park was in full force. Yeah, I stuck Keaton between Galati and Charlie. R.I.P. to Charlie.
That was the race where Bobby Moore and Jeff Keaton both and JQ.
This is when JQ was stacked, and it was really stacked.
Is that the race where Drake told Keaton to?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Hey, by the way, here's a message for you, Lefty. It was a super chat.
Oh, what's up? Thanks for the super chat. Great show, Keenan. Just a quick question. What are your opinions on the 15-year-old Scottish driver, Phil McCracken? I like his name. Anybody named McCracken is going to be badass. Is Phil McCracken? Is that supposed to be a joke, or did I say that wrong or something?
Say it again.
Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken. I don't get it. Did I say it wrong or something?
Feel my crack in.
See, that went right over my head. Right over my head. I just thought his name Phil McCracken.
Well, did you see the guy's name who sent it?
Elias.
Ice Wallow come.
Wow, that's interesting. I will thank you for the super chat. What's up, Jared? How you doing? We got Jeff Keaton in here. We need to get Jeff Keaton back on the pod, but I think it's all corporate now. I think it's TLR and it's going all corporate. So he can't be.
He's TLR?
Oh, he's not sponsored by it. But I don't think he could be associated with scum like us. So,
No, we're the cream of the crop, man.
No, we're
Does he know that JQ rebranded to JQSM?
He might be.
I know he's all about
SM
dildos
part.
and stuff, and it's JQ Sadomaso.
Yeah, he's definitely interested about the SM part.
All right, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some more crap after we finish the AMS part. All right, let's look.
Go by the 15-year-old Scottish guy, though.
I didn't catch one. Sorry, I didn't catch one. Sorry. So let's look at some of these other guys. Jackson Brunson having a good year. Tanner Denny's going to this race having a good year. Tyler Fenster, 10th scale guy from California, I believe. He's headed there. We got the Fullers. I think Mason Fullers is going to surprise a lot of people. Spencer Heckert, another solid young driver. I expect him to do good. Josh Hollyfield is a local Southeast driver. Tyler Hooks has had, and I have to give Tyler, I was just telling you this the other day, Max. I have to give Tyler Hooks a lot of credit because he's been doing pretty good, and he does a lot. Like, he does all the social media and all that type of stuff, and he's still trying to do all that stuff and race on a competitive side, and I could tell you that that's extremely difficult. But he's had some good results this year.
Yeah, I mean, some races he's been faster than Jerry Wiggins, which is sort of his main sort of local rival. They practice together and all that. So he's been doing pretty good this year. I've been surprised, really, because it's not easy to sort of do everything and then try to race as well.
Okay, let's talk about the dark horse, Tyler Jones. Good, semi-decent year, no victories this year. I believe he's got another year in his contract with Techno. Should Tyler have won races this year, run a nitro buggy this race, or are we giving him another year to get used to the Techno more, and should we expect big things out of him next year? I think we give him another year and see what he does next year. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, he really isn't at the level yet where he needs to win. He's at the level that he gets podiums here and there. The PMB win with TLR a few years ago, that was sort of a one-off. It was a great result, but it wasn't sort of his norm. I think races like DNC, well, maybe something like Silver State, or who knows, maybe the Nationals next year. I think tracks like that he can do pretty good. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I would.
I expect big things out of Tyler Jones next year. I expect big things out of him.
But this event, probably nothing crazy.
Jared Tebow, no victories this year, had a solid year. I know he wants a victory. I was talking to him yesterday. I was like, dude, I know you're burnt out. It's like, I'm super excited to go to AMS and can't wait. So he was at Hobbyplex this past weekend. Mason Fuller beat him. But I think he was trying the new Reds engine. But this week I asked him, he's going with his MX engine this weekend. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that develops. From what he told me, he liked the Reds engine. So let's see what happens for Tebow and if that.
Yeah. I mean, he races at Hobbyplex pretty often, and he often gets beat. By the way, yes. I think Mason has beat him multiple times there,
and Seth Van Dalen.
Basically more than Tebow. Yeah, Seth. Both of them. Sort of, I don't know what it is. Maybe
it's a hard track, dude.
Sort of small track, and he probably doesn't go there often. So it's nothing crazy if he gets beat there. I think this year Tebow has been looking the best Tebow since, I don't know, forever. At least like on sort of how he how he presents himself, how he seems happy. He seems like he's having fun. So yeah, this year's been really good, Tebow, for sure.
Ryan Lutz is going to be there. Is this the last race we see Ryan Lutz competitively as a professional driver? I hope not. That's another rumor.
Hard to call. I mean, it would be weird if he left WRC because they're certainly pushing to do stuff. I don't know if he leaves WRC, I would imagine it's sort of his decision to leave. I would see no point of WRC sort of taking him off the team. And
I think it's about where it's more about where can he get a full paycheck at a team. So I hope that this happens for Ryan, or he decides to continue in RC, because I really like Ryan and I want to see him get angry and do well. All right, real quick. We haven't talked about it much, but I have to say this: Spencer Rivkin has probably been the most consistent driver this year. He's had multiple third places and second places. He's had a very quiet but very productive year in 8 scale. He hasn't had any wins. That can change this weekend, but I have to give him his props. Very good year. Excellent year for him.
Yeah, definitely one of his best 8 scale years. Nationals didn't go too well. He had a DNS at PMB. Apart from that, pretty much podium every race, always there in the main. So yeah, he's been doing surprisingly well, I'd say. Sort of, I think he has his 8 scale program together now, and yeah, I think that's what's going on here, and it's showing.
Okay, real quick, who I expect to be in this main and do very well, who's had another decent year. Brendan Rose had a very good decent year, lots of top 5s. Lee Setzer, in my book, one of the most improved racers of 2021. He has taken a liking to Nitro. I talked to him at the Nationals, and I know he did some 10 scale last week. We can't hold that against him, but we can say that he's been fully focused on 8 scale, and that's good. Seth Van Dalen, this is the conundrum. Seth was not at Hobbyplex this past weekend. He's going to AMS. I mean, it's pretty, we know, like, through the room, I pretty much knew at Nationals that Seth wasn't going to be on Techno at the end of the year, or is going to be in a Techno. I mean, we can all be surprised, and he can be, but I just don't have a feeling that we're going to see Seth in Techno next year. He needs a good race. This has to be his good race, so he can go, so his stock can go up a bit more going into 2022 and build that confidence that he has, because he has all the skills to do it. He has the speed. He has everything to do it. It's just, it's as you know, Max, as you know, Joseph, in this pro ranks, those increments come so small. You know what I mean? And you have to take them, but you could go back so fast if you got to just keep on top of it. So he definitely needs a good race this week.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more consistency, sort of like TQ in Silver State, TQ in DNC, then not even making the main at some of these East Coast races. It's sort of to try and make a paycheck. It's not acceptable, really.
Yeah. All right. Ty Tasman. I am so happy that Ty's here, because if Ty goes to this race and wins, that's 3 races he's won. 3 races where Mayfield wasn't there at PNB, but 3 races that he would have won. And after that abysmal performance at DNC, Ty Tasman has shown that he is Canada's 8th wonder, or number 1 RC guy, and one of the best people in the RC drivers in the world, for being in the B main at DNC to winning 2 races this year. He won US Open, and he won, even though US Open was as big as some of these races, still had a stacked talent wise. But I think Ty Tasman can win this race, to be honest. I just,
the track suits him as well.
Yeah, I just think Ty Tasman can win it. And
yeah,
I don't think that Mayfield is the favorite going into this race. I'm going to say it. I don't think he's the favorite going into this race this weekend.
Yeah, I would disagree. I think he's the favorite, but it's very likely that he doesn't win. Sort of.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put anyone else really above Mayfield at this point. Not even Fend, because he looked good at Southern Nats. But even then, without those silly mistakes by Mayfield, he would have had that race. He sort of crumbled there, and Fenn took advantage and won his first race of the year. So yeah, I mean, I really can't say anyone else apart from like Mayfield winning this race, to say one guy. But I wouldn't be surprised seeing Tebow or Fenn getting a win here.
You know what? I'm going to say something very unusual. I actually think that at this race, Fend could win.
It's about time you saw the light, Joseph.
Like looking at the layout, knowing how the track will be, I think he could actually win.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
The
call
only
out
issue is if it blows out even a bit. If it blows out even a bit, it'll be a lot harder.
Well, yeah. I can't remember if it blew out last year, but Tebow came third last year. Tebow came third last year. And the rougher this track gets, the better Tebow will be. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
I don't think it gets rough like that.
Yeah, but
no, I don't think it'll get rough. I think you'll have some bumps or ruts which Fend will always hit.
I would agree with you, Corey. Third wheel salute.
I missed it. Is Ogden going?
Yes, of course he's going.
I guess so he's gonna be good.
I think he can win it too. It's so hard to call this race right now, but we might as well do it as we're here. So, Max, you go first with your top 3 picks.
I kind of want to pick Tasman again. He proved me right at PNB. The thing is, it's a bit technical for Tasman, so I'll put Mayfield, Tasman, Fend in my top 3.
Okay. How about you, Joseph?
Even though I said that Fend can win this, I think he'll fend himself. So I'll put Tasman, Mayfield, Ogden. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to pick anybody because I jinx people, so maybe I shouldn't pick anybody.
Pick Cavalieri so you don't jinx anyone.
I wouldn't mind Cavalieri winning. I want Tebow to win. I want left tire salute. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I thought it was left. I know it's left tire salute. No, I am going to refrain from making my picks, but I'll make my
you can't refrain from making your picks. You have to make some now. You can modify them after practice.
All right. I am going, honestly, I think it's going to be Ty, Tebow.
Tebow, Mayfield. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm actually
going
to
to Ogden could be in there too. I think Cole Ogden could win this. Personally.
Yeah, write it all down.
A POC? What's a POC? I don't know.
I can't see Ogden winning though. Like that's the thing. I can see Ogden being second. Can't see him win. I don't know what it is.
Look at corporate Keaton.
What did Max say?
I said Mayfield, Tasman, Fend, and Keenan went
Ty, Tebow.
Ty, Tebow, Mayfield.
Yeah.
Mayfield. I said Ty, Mayfield, Ogden.
By the way, guys, we will be doing a recap of this race on Monday. So pay attention for that.
Yeah.
We seem to be high on Ty.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's pretty good on tracks like this, though. Like PNB, he was really good. Nationals, fastest after, or I don't know if Ogden was faster, but after semis, fastest guy. Tires were good. It would probably be semi, medium to high grip. I don't know. Sort of, well, American medium to high grip, European medium to low. Yeah, I think tracks like this suit Ty. The only thing that doesn't really suit him is the technical part of this. Mayfield is really good at tracks like sort of when you have to angle up your car. Sort of the angle jumps, I think Mayfield's really good. So I think that's why I picked Mayfield first. But Tasman is definitely going to be fast no matter what.
Sweet. All right. Well, speaking of Techno and me picking Tebow, he has agreed to come on next week. We're going to do another live with him to get his feedback on that. So before we do that, and I think, have you guys talked about AMS anymore? Do you guys want to talk about it anymore?
Let's announce our schedule for the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Sorry. Max, you take care of that. I'm gonna make a pit stop real quick, guys. Bathroom's calling. I drank too much Red Bull before this. So Max, you go ahead and talk about the schedule.
All right, everyone. So the time zone for this will be UTC -4, which is 1 hour ahead of Eastern time. It's 2 hours ahead of the time in Alabama, which is, I think that's Central, it's called. So on Friday, 5:30 UTC -4. So 4:30 Eastern, we'll be having practice catch up. We'll be going through practice. We're going through Q1, and we'll do a watch along of Q2 of Nitro Buggy during the live. Join us then. So 4:30 Eastern on Friday. Then the pre-final show on Sunday will be 5:30 Eastern. So yeah, we'll talk about the main. We'll watch the driver intros, and then after we watch driver intros, sort of got our sort of analysis of Super Bowl qualifying all settled. We'll do a watch along on Discord. So we'll have a voice chat going on over there. Everyone can watch the race at home, chat up with the guys on Discord, sort of get our thoughts during the race. Everyone can get their picks in. So please, if you haven't yet joined the Discord, join the Discord. We'll have a lot of stuff going on during the weekend. We'll be talking to people at the race. There'll be a lot of people from the Discord is actually at this race. So if you want to ask people stuff, they'll probably be there to answer some of your stuff. And yeah, it's going to be a really nice weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun with this race. And yeah, let's get excited.
Maybe we're going to call Jeff Keaton in later. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we're going to be busy this weekend, and starting with our new format of probably doing 2 podcasts a week. We will have a recap of this on Monday. Pretty much that's it, I think. And we'll talk about this race in particular. All right. All right, Connie, thank you for your time. Connie, thank you for everything and your help with House of RC. Greatly appreciate it. If you haven't checked out the blog or the novel that I wrote, and you have like an hour, you can go check it out on House of RC. Maybe we could get the link up and put that in here. Let me work on that. All right. You know what, guys? It's time to pay some bills. And being as he was in her, and I think this is going to be one of the last shows that they're going to be a part of because, things are happening there. I would like to say thank you and shout out to Joey Showers and the Showers family for all the support of us, the JQ Racing when we came there, and just their support of the podcast for the last year. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see this family again and hang out with them sometime. So thank you to SCRC.
Sun City RC Raceway, the home of El Paso's world-famous motocross-inspired 8-scale off-road track. The Showers family has over 20 years experience creating one of the premier tracks in the USA. Their world-class facility has everything: handicap accessibility, covered beds, gate starts, space for parking RVs, trailers, and lights for night racing. Follow SCRC on Facebook under Sun City RC Raceway for updates, upcoming races, or host your own race.
All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and go into the celebration of the 150th episode, and I have to pay some more bills because we don't have a main interview this week. So thank you to Nnrc, another long time sponsor of this podcast.
Right into the next guy.
Nnrc. Nnrc is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.technorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Nnrc. Excellence in engineering. #Techno Takeover.
And thank you, Nnrc, for their continued support of the podcast. I know guys don't like ads, but ads is how we make our money. So thank you to our sponsors. Like I said, if you're interested in supporting and being a sponsor of this podcast, shoot me a message. All right, guys. So, hey, you know what? We are actually at 150 episodes and 3 days shy of doing this for 3 years. The first episode, episode 1, which sounded like we was in a tin can, released on November 13th, 2018. Holy shit, JQ. You never thought that I would get this far, did you?
I hoped, but I didn't think so, to be honest.
See how much confidence he has? I hoped, but I didn't think so. So just in case you guys want to know, I actually, so how this kind of, we have varying stories on how this started, but I kind of went to Joseph and said, hey, I think I want to do a podcast. I listen to other podcasts. They're not talking about the stuff that I want to talk about. I want to talk about RC in general, in the world, not just one region. So he was like, find out what you need, and then we'll get it and go from there. So that led to a conversation with Savage Joe Zaire of Ran Out of Talent. I bought all the wrong equipment, and it didn't work very good, but we got that first episode done, and it took really about 4 or 5 months to get that done with JQ constantly, on me. And I have to say thank you to him for that. Because if it wasn't for him pushing me to do this, we would have never got started. And here we are, 149 more episodes than he ever thought. Really, it's more than 150 episodes. But it's an official.
You've done a lot of lives and stuff.
Yes. And of course, we have the 15 episodes of RCGP. So with that said, man, I want to say thank you to Joseph. I have to say also thank you to my other partner involved in this. I'm not going to say his name, but and of course to you, Max, because you was a big help from the get-go as well. I have to say thank you to you, Joseph, especially for giving me the opportunity to be in this crazy world of RC number one. I never would have thought that would have been possible, but then to push me to come out of my shell and do something that I think I'm pretty good at, which is talking. And yeah, like 150 episodes, 3 years later, we're still here. And yes, I'm burnt out, but the passion is still there, and I'm looking forward to 2022. We now have Max back on, who's kind of with us full time, which has been a blessing. I have to also shout out to other people that have helped make this podcast what it is. I just have to shout them out real quick. It's Rowan the Barbarian, Jeff Keaton for his time coming on. He made it exciting. We need to bring him back on. My buddy Zach Ryan bringing that Australian flavor from down under. RC Kevin for his time. I have to thank Wally for his time, and he did this with us as well. And who else? Am I missing somebody? Jared Tebow, David Ronnefolk for always. Ronnefolk, I have to say thank you to Ronnefolk, because Ronnefolk was always, I would call up Ronnefolk. I'd be like, hey, man, can you come on for 20 minutes? Sure. He would never tell me no. So I want to say thank you to him, and I think we're actually friends. I think we have a bromance going on. Shout out to Alexander Hagberg as well for his support. Become a really good friend with him. Connie, man, just everybody that's been, and most of all, thank you to the Nnrc squad who go and download and listen to us ramble on for 5 hours at a time sometimes and tune into these lives, man. Honestly, the thank you should go to you guys, because none of this would have been possible without you, and the patrons and the sponsors. None of this would have been possible with you guys. I'm just some guy who likes to talk too much, and I wouldn't be doing it if you guys didn't support it. So I give you guys, I can't clap. So here's my version of clapping. Thank you to everybody that has made this possible. I can't say anything more besides that. It's truly been my pleasure. It still wows me when I get messages from people I may not know, and they're like, hey, I like this in the pod, and you were right in this. And I think I was telling you this earlier, I think we're seeing a shift in the thinking of people. And I think that's just because we're just hammering things, like what they say, if something doesn't like to get beat and it don't want to work, get a bigger hammer. So, we pick up a bigger hammer and we do things, and we're not sitting on our laurels. We want to get better. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Jeff says, okay, I have to also say thank you to Big Sexy Jeff Keaton, because he definitely brought out the best in JQ, and we need to get him back on her. I still have the Jeff Keaton rant that I have never published. I still have it tucked off. Maybe one day it will get published, but I don't know. It will probably be when we dissolve this podcast, if that ever comes.
And if you ever lose motivation, just go back and listen to that one epic rant from back when I was living in the Philippines. It was one of the early ones, when it was that long rant about RCGP, and Bornhost was in there, and you. Do you remember the one I mean?
Bornhost was in
it. I had a long monologue for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then the doorbell rang and food was delivered, and then we went back to it.
I remember that.
It was probably my best rant, yeah. So if you lose motivation, go back and listen to that.
Well, I think one of my favorite, honestly, I think one of my proudest moments on this podcast is actually the Ryan Mayfield interview. I actually got credited with probably having the best interview that he's ever had. So it's also the most popular one. So yeah, man, I know lately probably I've pissed off a lot of people, the federations, but that's fine. I'm not here to be friends with them. I'm here to fix them. But I think we're doing good things here, and honestly, it just shows in the people that's showing up at 6 o'clock for me, that are here listening to us and that download this podcast and show us some love, and especially like the patrons that send a little extra money this way. Fuck, man, it's been awesome. And I ain't ready for this to stop. I'm ready for us to develop, bring out the Nnrc 2.0 next year, and go from there. So thank you, everybody. I don't know, man. Excuse me. I'm burping. I don't know, too much Red Bull. Let's talk about some of the things that we've enjoyed on the podcast real quick. I know this isn't in the notes, but JQ, what's been one of your favorite moments besides that rant on the 150 episodes of this No Name RC podcast?
I really enjoyed all the rants with Keaton, basically. Yeah. Those have been my favorite.
They were epic too. We need to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Max? You've been on her recently, much more involved. What was one of your favorite moments of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed sort of, I think some of the stuff happening around DNC, I think almost every DNC on the podcast, like since it started, it has been really good. I think it's been fun.
Yeah,
so I think sort of the DNC lives we did this year were pretty good. I really like them, and sort of before when you had interviews when you're on site, I think I've always enjoyed that part of the podcast.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy getting there and actually doing the talks in person. I think for me, one of the favorite, like I said, my favorite. What I'm most proud of is the Ryan Mayfield podcast, but one of my favorite podcasts that I'm actually recorded was with Jason Snyder. I was very shocked. I thought he was going to be super nerdy, and he was actually very savage in a nerdy way, and I like that. And I think one of my most epic...
I remember, dude, you know what? I told you, this was very early on, I think. You were like thinking of guests, and I said, hey, get Jason Snyder on. He had a YouTube channel way back, and he did a lot of good videos, and he's a funny guy. And you were like, you didn't know him at the time, I think. So you were like, I don't know. He wanted to get some drivers on and all that. And I'm so happy to hear that because I told you so.
It's the second most popular podcast.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So I need to get him back on. And I think we've had so many funny, we've definitely had some butt puckering moments on this podcast where I'm like, oof, we're going to get in trouble for that one. But luckily, we kind of haven't gotten in trouble, really. Maybe we have silently, but I think that's what makes us different and what I kind of wanted this podcast to be. Someone compared us to being the TMZ, which may be something fair, but I think what we do here is we basically take what happens at the track and what we talk about at the track. Well, everybody talks about it at the track, and we talk about it here. And I think we've done we've had an important role in a couple of things, is making RC more exciting for everybody because we freak out over this stuff, and then also making people think things can be different, and just like adding some charisma to RC, which is desperately needed, and not only that, but also holding people's feet to the fire. I mean, like, imagine this past year had no one really been at Raw, at the Raw Nationals to catch all of that stuff on, and just be there and be involved in that. People would have, and still, we still got to hold their feet to the fire. By the way, Raw, where are the results from the tests? It's now November. We still don't have any test results from the if you guys inflated the tanks or not. So, that quickly got brushed under the carpet. But yeah, man, I just think we've been a part of some very good things. Obviously, like I said, we have pissed some people off. But as JQ says, we can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. So yeah, thank you.
You've definitely grown some balls this year, though, for sure. You used to go very soft on the federations, way too soft, in my opinion. On the podcast, you were like, okay, they need to change things. But you were kind of like, this year you've been savage, for sure.
Well,
you've grown some balls.
I just think that they are very important, and the first line of defense, the first line of attack when it comes to RC, and they're just not there. And then when I saw Raw, and I really paid, like, I went to the Raw Nationals in 2018, and I had rose colored, I had what's that, fireball colored glasses on, so it was all dreamy for me, and it was just super hot. But when I actually got to sit off and watch them the entire race and see how incompetent some of them are, I just kind of was just like, yeah, we need to fix this. And hey, what's up, Adams RC? Thank you, all the way from Australia. I hope you're on the East Coast. What? Jeff Keaton says Raw still better than anything else. Because Jeff Keaton I love Raw. Don't get me wrong. I want Raw to exist. But it is the worst, absolute worst federation out there, Jeff. Just because you like to go drinking with them. Afra is 100 times better than Raw. Afra is 100 times better than Raw. And I think they move too slow. So, yeah, this year was a little bit developing for me because I said I had to make a decision. Am I going to please everybody, or are we going to try and make a difference in RC? So I have to balance not being as savage as I really want to be, because you have you and JQ for that, and me kind of just getting my little. And my thing is against the federations, because I just think, like, I was always the guy when the bosses did something wrong at the job wrong, I'd say something. I'd probably get fired, but I'd say something.
One thing we sort of haven't talked about was the Lefty for President movement. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think that was actually pretty cool. I remember that. It was,
I think that's
people
what
got behind that as well.
I think that's what ignited my when they kind of got the Facebook thing taken on, and that's when it kind of clicked for me. I was like, oh, these federations aren't about being open and aren't about new things. They're about, hey, if you ain't saying what we want to say, we're just going to ban you. And that's obviously been proven when I got banned from AFRA from commenting on their posts.
I think that actually got the ball rolling more so that we had obviously been talking for a while already about the federations, but they weren't really paying attention. But when that happened, I think it scared them a bit.
Yeah,
people.
I really do. Yes, they played it off like they just got it banned and didn't say anything. But behind the scenes, I think that it got them to pay attention. Like, hey, maybe we need to do something or we could be replaced. Like, it got them thinking because it started to gather real steam. Like, it was this joke to begin with, but people were actually taking it seriously. Like, can we actually vote this guy in? You know?
Yeah.
So they wanted to shut it down, and that got them thinking. And I think after that, they were paying more attention to what we were saying.
I think they're still scared of it, if you ask me. But I'm just to the conclusion, like, if we can't fix these federations, then we got to watch them die, and something else has to rise out of the ashes. So simple as that. And I think Raw's on its deathbed. So, and offer it. And I think we just got to, put it out of its misery and watch something new spring out of it. So, they definitely ain't gonna. But I did appreciate Raw reaching out to me to talk about what happened at the Nationals, because I don't entirely blame them. They're just following the rules. You know what I mean? So in that case, they're following the rules. But yeah, it just is what it is. This isn't about a Raw spiel. I spiel about Raw quite enough. All right, guys. So let's talk about 2022. What we got planned, Max, because you're really big on this. You mentioned the Nnrc Cup. We're going to be trying to do a European version as well as an American version next year. A little bit more in depth, more races. I know this is crazy to some people, but this is like having a series. You know what I mean? So we kind of want to make it exciting. We're probably going to 2 podcasts a week at times. And yeah, hopefully we get to more races. I think I'll probably be at every rcgp race, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be at the Worlds. Hopefully, I'll be let into the Worlds. But yeah, 2022 is looking positive. We got a lot of things going on. Mayako, with you, Joseph, and Invisible Speed. You got that keeping you busy. And JQSM, I'll be involved in JQSM. And I still, with Invisible Speed a little bit. So I want to say, like, we're come to a pass where we've been working hard the last 4 years. And now, like, it seems like every bit of the piece of the puzzle is coming together, but now the real work starts, and that starts next year. And we're going to be busy. Of course, look, this is
RCG will be on next year, guys.
Yeah, but this is the first question.
They announced the dates. It'll be on. It'll be great.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
Yeah, of course. We'll tackle that in the questions.
I'm looking forward to our next rant with Keaton about RCGP.
Yeah, we should have Keaton on.
Actually, you know what? We should have Keaton on immediately in January to talk about Mayako and the silly season and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. To start the year with a good note with Keaton on the podcast.
Well, now that he's back into RC, we can definitely do that. He's now corporate Keaton. So that's what we'll now call him from now on. So
I hope he's going too corporate, so he just hates RCGP, but he's not savage.
I don't think anything's going to keep Jeff Keaton quiet, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's why we like him, That's why we love him. All right. Anything else you guys want to add? I mean, honestly, man, 150 episodes. We are going to do a Christmas show closer to December. We're going to do some giveaways and stuff like that. But, sorry, I'm just reading what Jeff says. But I think people want to ask some questions. We've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. Do we want to add anything else before we go on? I think you should say thank you to everybody too for the support of the podcast, because you guys, it's helped you guys. It's helped you a lot, Max. I think it's
for sure. It's been actually really fun. I remember this last winter. after I started publishing my YouTube videos, and we sort of got back in touch. And I got back on the podcast, and I mean, yeah, it was actually pretty cool to be back on. We had a time where we didn't speak a lot, me and you, Keaton. So
it was good.
Yeah,
we mended that
cool to
bridge.
get back in touch with everyone. Yeah. And since then, it's been actually really fun. I've been enjoying being on the podcast, getting to know a lot of more people. I mean, yeah, obviously I've got my name out there a bit as well, so it's been big for me as well as sort of promotion and all that. But I think more importantly for me, sort of what I appreciate is just people asking me questions, people sort of just talking to people, getting to know more people, and seeing that some people actually appreciate the stuff I say. So for sure, it's been really fun. And yeah, I'm super excited about next year. One thing you haven't brought up yet is the Nnrc Cup.
Oh, well, we did touch on that real quick. You're geeking out over this right now. So give us a quick run through on this.
Yeah, so next year, sort of the Nnrc Cup, because this year we started it after PMB pretty much. Keaton is always in here when I'm speaking. But yeah, this year we sort of started it midway through the season. It wasn't built up that well. Next year, as soon as we get all the dates settled on the races we want to have on the series, it'll be posted, it'll be hyped up, and sort of the type of coverage we'll do of AMS this weekend, we'll try to do of each race of the Nnrc Cup we'll have. There'll be 4 races in America, hopefully 4 races in Europe as well. And if it all goes well, the schedule fits nice, we'll have both series finished before the Worlds, and the Worlds will be sort of the final showdown of who is the king of the year. I think this is sort of a great way to have a series in Europe, in America, sort of compare each against each other, still keep the same race in there, keep it virtual, and if people hype it up, see, he just goes on. So if people hype it up, I'm definitely going to hype it up. I'm super excited. I think it'll be great. All the storylines we'd had this year will just be better. It'll be sort of actually put into some, put into somewhere. It's not just forgotten after each race. It'll live on. Yeah, I'm excited for sure.
I have an idea for you. I think you should, for the World Showdown, you should make USA versus Europe. And you don't need to pick the drivers, but it's the 3 best European drivers and the 3 best American drivers, for example, in the race.
Yeah.
And you add their scores together. And then you have a winner. And then you take bets before the race. So who wins, Europe or America?
Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe some fantasy RC.
Yeah.
I
actually think we can start Fantasy RC now with these 4 races next year. I don't know how any of that works. Again, but
dude, you remember when you came up with the Nnrc Cup on the podcast? I think we should need to do that. Some Fantasy RC. We could do it on the Discord for Nnrc Cup. So people pick their guys for the season, and yeah, maybe we're gonna do that. I forgot all about that. We forgot to put that in the notes. It'll be fun, and people will enjoy it. It'll be for laughs and sort of excitement. We don't want any gambling issues here. Gambling on RC races.
All right, JQ, anything to add before we go on to some questions?
No, I had something earlier, but I forgot already. So.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? It's time to go on to the Beach RC Bench Racing Q&A. We see you guys have questions. We would appreciate some super chats too, and we'll give your question even more attention, but we're going to give you guys attention as it is. So here we are, Beach RC. Thank you for all your support.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
right. Thank you to Beach RC. Brent and Lucas are actually at AMS. So thank you to those guys for all their support. Remember, everybody, there's an affiliate link that you can use. Go to Beach RC. Show them some love. Help show the podcast some love. We got a little cut off that. We greatly appreciate that. And we appreciate Brent and those guys as well for all their hard work. As you can see, I'm rocking my jersey that I got at RCGP in 2019. All right, so we have a few questions here. First one up is for you, JQ. Well, Jeff Keaton, is RCGP still a thing?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, let's go through this.
Of course, it's a thing, Jeff. I actually think
starting up in March.
Yeah, and it looks. Can we say this, Joseph? It looks like it's going to be on the East Coast. I can't say where yet, but it's a week after the Nationals because the Royal Nationals date change, which I understand why it happened. I understand totally why it happened. Messed up a lot of races, so we're gonna have to. Okay, so we did get a super chat from Axel Owen, so we're going to do that first after that. So RCGP is still a thing, Jeff. You should race it. You promised to race it in 2019, but you didn't show up.
Yeah, it's going to be, and now especially if the first race is in the East Coast, Jeff has literally no excuse. So join the best racing series in RC.
All right.
Let's
tackle our super chat. Thank you, Axel Owen, good friend of mine in California, nice guy. Since you're both here, is there actually a difference between inboard rear toe with moving the hubs back and forth and just outboard toe adjustment? That is for you guys because that's right over my head.
I've answered this before in the podcast, and what I said then was outboard toe just feels like, let's say you adjust 1 degree outboard toe. It's same as adjusting half degrees inboard toe. But I think there's also, what creates the difference here is the fact that when you change inboard toe in, you actually shorten the car up. You move the rear hub forward technically, which sort of gives more lean to the back, slightly more grip. So you increase toe in, and at the same time, you sort of increase the weight transfer to the rear.
But when I change toe in, I also move the hub. So I sort of negate that. But there's still a difference.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's still a difference between inboard and outboard. I always felt that outboard toe in you add after you already have sort of 3 degree inboard and you still feel the rear is loose. So then you sort of really tie it in with outboard toe in. And outboard toe in, you can run more toe in and still have steering in tight corners. Mm-hmm. If you only have very much inboard toe in, then at some point you lose too much steering. But if you have, let's say, 3 degree inboard and you add half a degree outboard, you'll still have steering, but you also have more rear grip. That's kind of what I noticed. And also, when you do add outboard toe in, especially 1 degree, that you can really feel that you have less forward drive, like the car is slower because there's more resistance to moving forward.
Cool.
So. Yeah. I felt I actually tried it at RCGP in Thunder Alley, running 1 degree inboard, 1 degree outboard. And then I tried 1.5 degrees. And the overall feeling, sort of the amount of steering was very similar between that. But you sort of had, especially over bumps, I felt I had better grip with 1 degree inboard, 1 degree outboard. But you definitely lost some corner speed. So it's hard to call. I think it's, for my brains, it's easier just to do inboard. Trying to match it with outboard it's always a bit hard, and trying to find sort of the perfect balance. I think it's hard to do. So I stick with inboard. And I think what Joseph said, just if you're maxed out on the inboard with 3, going 4, the angle on the arm is going to be really aggressive. So I think, if you're already 3 inboard, then add to the outboard. But apart from that, just use the inboard time. That's my take on it.
Alrighty then. No, very good
question.
Can we
answer the question about Nnrc Cup? Because someone asked, will it include European races and RCGP? So the idea, as I said, is a separate cup for Europe and America. DNC will be a bit weird because most likely there'll be a lot of European guys scoring for the American series. But that's just the nature of it. If American guys decide to show up at Montpellier, they'll score for the European series. In the future, perhaps we could combine these events or somehow. But as of now, it's best to keep them separate. And rcgp will be its own series. And the thing is, rcgp is locked to the teams who are part of it. It's not a sort of an open entry. So that's why I don't think it's good to have on the Nnrc Cup. And also, it has its own series. People
and we'll be hyping that up. We'll be talking about that anyway.
For sure.
So which races are in the series? Which races are in the series?
As of now, American series looks like DNC, Silver State, and which one I'm missing?
PNB. Isn't PNB included? I thought it was like Silver State.
Sorry. DNC, Nationals, and Silver State are 100% sure, locked in. We are still deciding between AMS and PNB. If AMS is as late as it's this year, we might have to go with PNB because we kind of wanted to end before the Worlds, just to have the World Showdown. European Series is going to be Montpellier. That's 100% locked in. DXR, if it happens.
It's not happening.
It might be... It's not happening. Okay. No. So then it's going to be probably Euros warm-up and Euros. And then it might be Buggyland if that happens. If not, then we might have to cut it into 3 races only. But Montpellier is 100% sure. Euros is 100% sure. Most likely Euros warm-up. And
IBC is the Euros warm-up. I think people...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. That's why.
What about Worlds warm-up?
I think, it depends, really. If I would rather have a pure European race as 4th. But if there's a situation where we only have 3 for Europe, then the World's warm-up would be the 4th for Europe. As already in DNC, as I said, there'll be a lot of Europeans, so it will sort of balance it out a bit. So, yeah, if it'll be for sure Montpellier, then IBC, which is Euros warm-up, then Euros, and then probably the Worlds warm-up then, or Buggyland if Buggyland is before the Worlds.
Okay. I think it's Buggyland is later, I think. So maybe then Montpellier, IBC, which is Euros warm-up, Worlds warm-up and Euros. Then both series are done before the Worlds. Yeah.
Most likely something like that. Still have to decide. We need to check dates and make sure everything.
All right.
So,
let's move on. Nnrc Cup is going to be awesome. That's all we know. When is the new car coming out? This is from Adams RC in Australia. When is the new car coming out, JQ?
It's actually shipping next week. So the Mayako is finally shipping. I'll actually believe it when I see it, but still.
When I get that tracking notice, I'll believe it. Max from RC Kevin. What's up, RC Kevin? Will you run RCGP?
I don't know. Probably not, but never say never.
All right. Muggy.
Onngar on Max Mart.
Could be possible. European team. How long will it take the JQ Racing team? How long will the JQ Racing team continue? And will the guys on the team eventually cross over to Mayako? Or will it be a whole separate team? And will there be any prime racers at Mayako? I think, it's still gonna be JQSM guys. That's the guys, the motley crew of misfits that I'll be in charge of. Which won't be as many people, but we're still gonna be JQSM / Mayako, and hopefully the people that are running JQ cars now will all graduate over to the Mayako car. And that team's going to be more like what Joseph says, 90s motocross, kind of laxy-daisy. But I also, hopefully it turns into being like the youth farm program of Mayako eventually. And we get young drivers, which I'm really interested in, is because obviously I have children. I like to see, I'm a big proponent of seeing more young racers in RC. Hopefully that JQSM / Mayako turns into that type of system where we help these young kids and, get them ready to move up to kind of like factory tracks for that factory tracks has the AE guys that they do. It's similar to that. So,
if you want to compare to motocross or supercross, then it's like Mayako is factory Kawasaki and JQSM is pro circuit Kawasaki.
Sweet. That's it. That's the best way to describe it. All right, Mike Walker, thank you for the super chat. We'll actually be contacting Mike on Friday because he'll be at AMS, and we're going to get a report from him. And congratulations to Mike Walker, but we'll talk. He knows what I'm talking about. So, what is the most anticipated thing in RC off-road racing in 2021? Joseph, I have to say it's your car. I told you this the other day. I think the Mayako is
2021.
Yeah.
Or
21, because people have been waiting for since all year. I actually think that the Mayako has become the most anticipated chassis release in such a long time. I think Infinity, yes, is as well, and obviously the new Nemo car with the later on shocks, if it comes to fruition.
But the thing is, the Nemo car they sort of went too much too soon, so they sort of didn't milk it out enough, I think.
Well, they have a lot of testing to do.
Yeah.
So would you agree that Mayako?
No, but if you think about it, even one of the reasons why there is interest in the Mayako is that no one's seen under the body except the members.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So Nemo has even more of an exotic car, so they could have done more with it, is maybe the point.
Right.
And now there's like no mystery. It's all shown, and it's like, well, let's see if it works or not.
Yeah.
I hope it works. I hope it works. Thank you, Mike, for the... Have you made it to AMS yet, Mike? Thank you for the question. We'll be talking to you on Friday. So good luck to you and Trent and all the JQ guys in attendance. My buddy, Corey Jordan, I like this. Mugen versus TLR versus Associated. With these rivalries, will there be any hits taken out on drivers for AMS? It's last race of the year, man. I think you got guys that are driving for money. You got guys that are driving for sponsorship in 2022. I think the gloves are off at AMS, and I think we're going to see some badass racing. And I think it's actually Mugen and Associated versus TLR right now, because unlike Joseph fails to realize, TLR is probably one of the biggest teams in RC right now, next to Techno. And it seems like the Mugen guys are affiliating themselves with the Associated guys, and it's TLR versus Pillow Balls, man. TLR versus Balls, it looks like.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think Rivkin and Fend, I don't know if the beef has sort of slowed down a bit, but this is the perfect opportunity to turn the beef up to 11. So I want to see some Fend Rivkin fighting in the main.
Some takeouts.
For sure, they'll touch a bit. There's no question that Fend and Rivkin will have a little contact if they get close.
Then you have Mason Fuller and Mayfield, and Fend and Mayfield that can possibly hit each other.
I think Mayfield is a bit over it. Sort of, he's not sort of that. Maybe in the moment he is, but sort of he doesn't hold grudges. He just dominates. So Mayfield's sort of out of it, I think. But yeah, Rivkin and Fend definitely have some rivalry going on. The live thing.
I just think they don't like each other. I just don't think they like each other. They want to be number one. No. They're both young, and I love it. So I'm all for it.
But let's be honest. They are the top 10 scale guys in America since, I'd say since a few years ago. Since the 2019 Worlds, they've been clearly the top 10 scale guys in America, to me. One is for Associate, one is for TLR.
And Corporate Keaton, how can I get a signed copy of the Invisible Speed book? I don't know. Ask JQ to bring it when he comes to America, and he can sign it for you.
Invisiblespeed.net. Pay full price like everyone else. Write a note that you love me, and you will receive it. And then at RCGP, bring the book, and I'll sign it for you.
There you go. Speaking of RCGP, he has another question. Did JQ ever kiss and make up with the Philippines club? Mind you,
no.
I have to say,
you know
the new track looks great, though.
It does look great. There are most of the people there are really nice, genuinely nice, but there are a couple of two-faced motherfuckers that just don't deserve any respect. So no,
can't take that one back, JQ.
No, but I mean,
it's just the truth. When have I ever lied?
No, you haven't. That's one thing you are not a liar. So
exactly. So if you're a two-faced liar, sorry, I'm not gonna kiss and make up. You don't deserve it.
But but the thing is, most people there, all the club guys, the club racers, sort of regular people, they were really nice. So I felt really welcome there.
Most people are really nice. It's just some of the, silver spoon shoved halfway up their bums people who always get what they want. Some of them, I think, needed a bit of a reality check, how it works in the real world.
Yeah, interesting.
Because when you live in a country like that and you are wealthy, you are extremely privileged and you get everything you want.
Well, it's the same here. It's no different here. It's no different here.
So it's just a bit more extreme there, I think.
No, I think it's similar here.
That was really truly the problem.
No difference here. It's just how it is. It's just a big gap between levels of income, and you have a poverty. You have lower poverty. You have a middle class, and you have a upper middle class, and then you have uber rich. So you have rich, then you have uber rich. That's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, I mean the level of pettiness was just incredible. So, for example, on the last day's morning in Maya Max's pit, they had thrown molasses in our pits, like under the chairs where we sit, because for those who don't know, like the regional issues began from that, because we had an agreement about not using so much molasses and that stuff, but then they just drenched it in it anyway, even though we had an agreement. That's where the issues began. So then just as a sort of petty, I don't know what, they just spilled molasses in our pits.
I would have thrown it all over your chairs, personally, so you couldn't sit there. That's what I would have done to you.
That's the level of stuff. So why would
FYI, just so people know, every bill that was agreed to be paid for was paid at that race.
Yeah, everything was paid.
Yeah, more. And more.
Yeah, but that's just how life goes. That's just how life goes.
Another problem is, like, in Europe, if you have a deal that something costs 1,000 euros, then it's 1,000 euros. That's it. It doesn't become somehow magically like 2,500 then after the fact.
That's just life in third world countries, man. Telling you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Chris Lemaster. How are you, Justin? Okay, we talked about outboard too. On the JQ Black Edition, we have in the hub inserts, you can adjust we call it the outboard toe, so you can add toe there as well as changing the ride height. Sorry, changing the hub height. I don't know how many other 8-scale cars have that. I'm not sure. I've not built many, but yeah. Or if it's a thing in 10 scale, right? It's big in 10 scale, Max.
Not really. I've the only car I've seen it in is the JQ.
Okay, interesting. I haven't seen that. That's right. What's up, Rowan the Barbarian? Thank you for all your hard work, Rowan. We appreciate it. We got to get the Discord up to 200 though. So chop. Let's go. Rowan the Barbarian. Jeff Keaton, he's just caught on to JQ BDSM. See, anything to do with sex and JQ is all. And Keaton, it gets Keaton's attention. So
it's just JQSM.
Yeah.
All right. Benjamin James, what's up, Benjamin? What do you think of this year's layout? We talked about that in the beginning of the show. I think it's okay. It's going to make for slower lap times, and it's going to.
You know what? I actually want to make a statement. Appreciation for Bobby Moore. He's been getting to the right direction. I feel every year he has better layouts. I think it's more drivable, more enjoyable. He does big jumps still, but it's not about hang time. It's about making the jumps work in the track as well. So yeah.
Does he have less blind spots?
No blind. He said no. He said that particularly on the Facebook Live they did this morning. No blind spots. So yeah.
Okay.
I have to give.
There was none of BMP when I was there.
I tell you what, man. Bobby builds a shit ton of tracks. I don't know how many he builds a year, but I don't know how he does it. He in his full-time job as well.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed his own track in North Carolina when I was
unfortunately,
there.
it's
We went
closed.
there quite a lot. Like, yeah, it was really nice.
Bob's RC, there needs to be more marketing promotion of these race events. That I agree on. There needs to be people in the stands, and that way racers wouldn't have to pay ridiculous entry fees. I'm all with that. It's going to be hard. We definitely have to promote, but we're not promoting to. I don't want to see me race. No one wants to see me do 1,000 cartwheels down the front stretch. I want to see the best of the best race, and that's where we have to. Yeah. We have to be honest with ourselves and just say, hey, nobody wants to see Keenan race other 40+ guys and look like shit. We wanna take the best of the best that we have and put that and showcase that. So we have to. It has to start to get spectators into the race. We have to first have some degree of professionalism, have some sort of distinction and professionalism with pro drivers and regular drivers. And we have to accept that we're not all going to be pro drivers, that those guys are pros. And when you're a pro, you get paid to do that shit, which they do. We also need to take advantage of them, make them look professional, use them in a professional way, market, spend some money, and trying to get some behinds in the seat. But will we get 10,000 people to an RC race? And that's all you need? Highly unlikely. Maybe 20 years from now, but not.
No, never.
I don't think
RC isn't a spectator sport.
I don't think we're gonna get people. I disagree with you. I think we can get spectators in, but we're not gonna get 10,000.
David from rcgp thinks the same, but no, it's not.
I disagree with you. And as for entry fees, I think real quick, we touched on that. Like more racing, better quality racing, cap races you pay more. It's pretty simple. Everything, like the same person that instead of spending $150 on personalized people spend $200 on a damn pit mat. So you're telling me they can't spend $150 on the race fee to race? I don't believe that.
I think we're probably never gonna achieve ticket costs or anything like that. But I think we can achieve some form of spectators, especially if we combine RC with bigger events. So I remember this event, WRC event in Finland in 2010. We had an RC race at the service park at this race. And people were lined up. It was grandstands full of people. They had to actually bring another grandstand there. Or I don't know if they didn't have it at first time, but they had to bring a grandstand there because there were too many people to watch it behind the fence. So the thing is, people probably will never purposefully go to watch an RC race, but they will definitely watch it if it's an action in somewhere, some other event or some happening. Right. And we've had there's a toy and model fair in Finland. We had an RC race there since forever, and it's always the fences are full of people watching it, especially kids. And people enjoy RC. People enjoy watching RC. But I kind of agree with JQ. You'll never be sort of people who buy a ticket to go watch RC, or people even probably go to an RC track to watch RC. But they'll definitely watch it if it's convenient.
Yeah, I would have to agree there, Max. Well, EK, my buddy Corey Jordan, and all these guys are all about getting these races at events, which I agree with, and that's how we're gonna have to do it. We have to get these races at events where there's people already doing some full scale stuff. And you're not gonna be able to charge them to watch the race, but you will get eyes on the race and what we do. And I just think that's what we need, and that we need to do that. And yes, RC is a participating hobby. But nobody wants to see you and I race, Jeff Keaton. Nobody wants to see you and I race, even though you beat me.
COVID delayed everything, but now when RCGP starts back up, you're going to see the next step in the evolution. So there was a lot more to RCGP than what people know. They just saw 1 year of it, and it wasn't possible to make too big of a change in the first year. So this coming year will be 2.0, and there will be some elements which are moving closer to something that can be presented in a short amount of time at full-scale events, for example. So the way we race is fun for us, but it's not fun for someone who doesn't know anything about RC. So that's something that you will see next year, and hopefully this will again inspire more people to do different things to promote the hobby in their region. So more on that later on.
All right. Benjamin James, hey Lefty, did you see Captain Throat Punch himself is on the entry list for pro classes? Actually, Barufalo is not going. I talked to him because I saw his name there and I got excited, but he said just too expensive to go. And let's get something straight here, because a lot of people are getting on Barufalo for what Mayfield said about him. Barufalo did absolutely nothing to Mayfield during that qualifier to gain that nickname. You know what I mean? He just made Mayfield super nervous, because Mayfield was in the verge of being in the being in the B, and he needed a good run. And Marco Barufalo was just behind him like, bark, bark, Madman Marco. And who's not to say that Barufalo isn't some black belt in jiu-jitsu, and Ryan Mayfield went for that throat punch. Next thing you know, he's in a triangle chokehold rolling on his steps or something like that. Just because
you know what? I think Marco gets a little bit bad rep. Just like he has the sort of rep, what do you call it? People sort of know him for being aggressive and all that, and they sort of go with it. Like Boots was at RCGP. No matter who he was racing against, he blamed Marco. I don't know what it is, but he was racing against some other guy and he blamed Marco for them touching or something. So there's sort of an attitude against him. I don't know why it is, because I raced with him at RCGP. We raced multiple times. I was a lot of times much slower than him, and there was no contact. It was clean. We raced side by side a few times. I never had any issues with him, so I don't know why it is. He definitely is aggressive. He definitely takes people out. There's no doubt, but I'd say there are a lot worse here. There are a lot of guys who take up people, don't even think about it, and there's really no point, you know. Marco is aggressive. He does it sometimes, but I don't think he's the worst offender.
I think that I'm not at all surprised that Max doesn't understand it, because he's the same kind of driver. So the thing is that when you are driving behind someone, then you need to drive a bit differently than what you would do if there was no one ahead of you. And that's what the top guys do, except certain guys, like, for example, Marco. So, yes, I think he's involved in more incidents than your average guy. But also, even when he isn't, it's like he's kamikazing into corners where the guy in front thinks that there will be contact, and actually changes how they drive because he is behind, you know? So
yeah, but
there are drivers who can be behind you and you just drive normally, right? Because you keep the door closed and try and block them, right? But then when you have someone like Barufalo behind you, if you just drive normally, they will hit you. So then those top guys, they attack the corners differently to avoid getting hit. So it's not always the case that, oh, well, he doesn't hit the guy. Yeah, he's not hitting the guy because the guy in front knows to drive differently to not get hit. Does that make sense? So
I understand that. I understand that.
If they just drove normally, they would get hit. So that's why people don't like him. That's why Mayfield got mad, because him behind you means that to not get hit, you have to change your driving, and that's not right. It should be the guy behind needs to respect the guy in front and not force them to change their driving.
Why not? Why not? This is racing.
I disagree.
Yes, but for example, in a qualifier, you are not racing for position. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. In qualifying,
I don't care. It's a strategic mind fuck.
No, but it loses for both. In qualifying, it's dumb for him as well. But I disagree in a sense. I'm definitely easier on the guy in front if I'm in fourth and he's in third, because I know we can't lose time. We have to keep up with the first two guys. If he's first, I'm second, I don't really care. And the thing is, it's really rare that I actually touch people, at least these days. In the past, I've been very aggressive and I've hit people sort of accidentally. These days, I can't even remember when I hit someone by accident. It's almost always that I knew I was gonna hit him, but I didn't really care. Or it was on purpose. But the thing is, I sort of know where I place my car. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I do that on purpose. But I don't know if Marco knows that. And I think when he does it in qualifiers, I agree. And I think it's dumb to do that because it loses for both. Your rhythm gets lost. The rhythm of the guy in front gets lost. You both lose time. So that's not smart. But in RCGP, that really wasn't the case. If you're driving in a line, sort of this, there's like 5 cars in a row. You put side dams. I don't know why Jeff's on about the side dams. But if you have a row of like 5 cars and Marco is somewhere in between, that's really annoying. And I think I personally have learned that recently. I haven't been like that always. I have been much more aggressive in the past. Even at RCGP, I kind of learned that a lot. Because at the first event, I was having a lot of issues. I hit Lee Martin like 5 times. No one else actually, but Lee Martin I hit a lot of times.
Oh, so you was what Leon was talking about. You was who Leon was talking about there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it was. Me and Lee were like, we were chatting a lot. We were kind of hanging out a bit at the track. But on track, I don't know why, but every race we had at least one incident. He took me out a few times at the end of the season. But at the start of the season, Manila, I took him out so many times. After that, I kind of had to think again what I was doing. And since then I've been better. But I kind of agree. But I think if you're racing for the win, it is acceptable to sort of dive bomb and do those kamikaze moves as long as the guy in front wouldn't actually have to change his line. He just feels he has to, you know. There's a line there where if he has to change his line, then I think it's not okay. But if he doesn't have to, but he does it because he's scared, then I think it's okay.
All right. Well, I have an awesome voice note for this whole topic.
JQ crashed into me 2 or 3 times on purpose. That's what happened, basically.
JQ, did you crash 2 or 3 times into Leonardo on purpose?
I think it was pretty much 50-50. You see, that's the problem. A lot of these young kids, I don't have anything personal against them, but they don't have any respect for the other cars on the track. So after multiple times of the same driver taking you out, you just have enough. So I thought I would do the same to him and see how he reacts. Now he understands how it feels to be ahead of him. So hopefully he can take this as a lesson going into the future races.
So you deliberately hit him?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I deliberately took him out. Yes, I did.
Well, Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
What is this?
Oh, that's from Talladega Nights. Great, epic. Almost lost my shit when you said that, Joseph, in live. All right, Tyler. Sorry, I'm going to butcher your last name. Screamisher. Sorry, Tyler. What is your opinion of the AMS format, entry cap, and almost double the entry? We went over this quite a lot. It's $50 more than what you would pay, or I think $40 more than what you would pay.
Okay,
we have.
I put it very simply. It's like buying beer with 2% alcohol. That's what you get for $90 entry and PMB. Or you buy beer that actually has some alcohol in it, and it costs you a little bit more. But it's actual beer. Real beer. Not 2.5% or whatever that piss is shit is.
Piss.
Actually, that's a great metaphor. Great. Yeah. You did it perfectly. Good. All right. Couple more questions, and I think we're gonna end it up. We're gonna call it quits. We've been here almost 2 hours. EKJ, left tire salute, dude. I got it right. JQ, can we get JQ Threads Mayako race jerseys like motocross jerseys to buy for the Mayako team to wear to races to look more professional?
A motocross jerseys would look terrible on RC races, but if he means those kind of colored pit shirts, then we'll have those. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ben and Pats, for the congratulations, Keenan and JQ on the 150th episode. Jeff Keaton, Mayfield calling out JQ at the World's Banquet was a close second. Yeah, that was.
You know what? One of the best things RCGP ever did was when they put out those quotes of people dissing RCGP. Sort of, I remember they put out on Facebook the quote of Mayfield that I can't remember how it went exactly, the quote they put on, but those were really cool because it was like when they were posting it, it was sort of a boss move. So yeah, I like those. And this clip, I don't know if people still have it somewhere, but this clip was legendary as well.
Yeah, I think it was actually in Driven, wasn't it, Joseph? The first episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that came out, I almost just lost my stuff too. You've definitely caused some stressful moments in my life, Joseph. I've been a prison officer, firefighter, all that type of stuff, but I have not had as much stress as I've had working in the RC industry for the last 4 years at all. Rowan, post.
But I think Mayfield will live to eat those words, or what's the right thing to say.
I think he has definitely changed his mind about RCGP already. I think already in 2019 he had.
Yeah, the thing is that I think it's rare to have people come together and work on something where the goal isn't actually just selfish. You know, where the point isn't like, let's do this so we can make money, or let's do this so we can win, or let's do this so we can have an advantage. That's kind of where people's brains tend to go first. So then when you have a group of people come together and they're doing something, the majority of people look at that and assume that's the intention. So then when it isn't, it's unimaginable almost to many people, right? And that's kind of what RCGP was. All the people who were involved, the intention wasn't to personally benefit or gain some advantage. The intention was to change the game, do something that would benefit the industry as a whole and everyone. So that's why what he said in that banquet was sort of perfectly the opposite to the reality. Like, you know, I just want to race more or something, whatever he said. So it was like the opposite of reality. And that's funny because you remember that one blog that I wrote about DNC where I said, oh, we arrived and everything was beautifully prepared. The track was ready and all the pipes were nailed down. And, you know, like I said, everything I said about the race made it sound perfect, but every detail was actually the opposite. You know, there's a great tire washing station and compressed air and all of the things I said, like there's a schedule and races are running good and on time. Mayfield actually gave me that idea because he was bitching and moaning in the pits about the race. And then that was when I was writing a blog every single day. And then he told me, hey, JQ, you should write a blog about the race and make everything the opposite. I was like, what? Yeah. And so that blog was actually his idea. And that is the blog that really pissed Joey off. Like, that's why he started sort of hating me again. I guess he used to hate me back in the day, but then we were fine. And then after that blog, then he was... Yeah,
nothing really to do with you putting stickers all over his stuff.
No. This was before that, right? It was like...
I think previous year.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
What's up, Barkan? Yeah. We need to get Borak on the podcast here by the end of the year, too. Let him know. Great interview with Barkan, by the way. All right. I think that's all the questions we have. If anybody has any last questions, put them in now because this is last call for alcohol. If you want to do a super chat, we'll definitely take that so we can buy some alcohol. Let's see. I don't think Ryan Mayfield's comments about RCGP as much as it was just supporting JQ. I think he was. This is what I think would happen. Mayfield was pissed off at the Worlds because he didn't win, and then he got caught with the Reds engine, with the OS engine. He probably had a shit ton of Coors Light, if that's what there, and then then some idiot who could have just went up there and said, "Wow, thank you, thank you for my plus 35 Worlds trophy," and fucked off. But no, somebody has to go up there and what does he say? Go ahead, Joseph. You know what you said.
That it's so awesome to be here, and I'm just disappointed that Captain Club Race didn't join the biggest club race in the world.
Yeah.
Because that was the 35 plus race at Worlds, which basically is the biggest club race in the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the undisputed captain of club races chose to not race it.
Like I said, Joseph, you have to learn to read the room. And you didn't read the room. And then
I read the room perfectly.
Honestly, if I was Mayfield, I probably would have done that and then threw a bottle at you, personally. But
that would have been awesome.
Jake is the type of guy, if you hit him, he'd be like, "Oh man, did you catch it on video? Did you see my face messing up his fist? Wow. Man, my face hit his fist so many times, I blooded his knuckles."
Did you see my face messing up his fist?
Yeah, that's how Jake you would look at it. Yeah, man, I hit his face. I hit his fist with my face so many times, I blooded his knuckles. Yeah, don't worry about my face being a bloody pulp, but I beat his fist up.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Ben Pets, when will the Mayako come out? Prototype ship on the 15th. But is the production release still set for January, Joseph?
It's never been set for January.
2022, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Chinese New Year is like February, so the goal is to get it shipped before then. So let's see. It's either going to be sort of late January or then mid-March.
Mid-March to end March, because when they go on that 3-week vacation, it's a vacation. Charlie Mack, he says he's hearing rumors of the Mayako Truggy release, Joseph. He wants to know a date. He says that's when it's definitely going to become a Mayaka Nair.
I think that next year the e-buggy will be members only until sometime in the summer. And then in the summer, there'll be an e-buggy, and Truggy will be members only all year. So only prototype form.
Thank you, Ben, for the question. All right, guys. Man, 150 episodes, 2 hours of chatting. I really enjoy these lives. I got nervous before them, but then I enjoyed them. So we need to do more of these. We will next year.
Whoa, we'll do 2 this weekend, dude.
Yeah. That's we will. You know what? I have to pay a few more bills before we go out of here, so bear with me, guys. You know that this podcast is bought by TNR Fuels, and we are all about the nitro. Is the glory on this podcast, and what would be the number one 8-scale nitro podcast without a nitro fuel sponsor? So thank you to TNR Fuels. They are the hottest fuel on the market, owned and operated by my buddy Chris Nelson and his family, made by racers for racers. TNR Fuels is currently available throughout the USA. They are working on international shipping. For more information to support the company or purchase some Nnrc fuel, TNR Fuels, and get it in your hobby shop, contact them at www.tnrfuels.com. Contact Chris Nelson at chris@tnrfuels.com. Find them on House of RC or directly contact them through Facebook. Also, that a big partner that came on this year, and I'm super happy, and hopefully they will join us in the new year, is Hi-Tech. Hi-Tech RCD is a leader in RC systems, delivering the highest performance and reliability, supported by a dedicated customer service personnel. I actually had Mike Mayberry on here a couple of months ago, and it was a great interview with him. Showed us the most expensive and biggest servo you can get. The HSBC 9381TH servos have efficient brushless motors, titanium gears, low consumption, constant output, and a metal case. And they also regenerate power back into your batteries. The RDX2 Pro charger, which I have back there, can charge 2 packs at a time. I know I'm charging 2 6-cells, 3 S packs, you name it. It's handling it. I can monitor my batteries progression on the Bluetooth dongle on their app, which I think is really cool. So check it out. Get an RDX2 Pro charger in your arsenal. Trust in Hi-Tech, your server and charger headquarters. Visit hightechrcd.com, where to buy to find your nearest dealer. Thank you to those guys. Thank you, Daiquiri Man. I appreciate that. And D70, my boy, he's got an e-buggy for us, but this is JQ is an e-buggy and soon to be e-truggy and truggy specialist. So,
will Mayako ever have an e-truggy?
Unfortunately, I think so.
Yeah, because it's the fastest growing class in RC right now.
Oh no! I wish that never took off. I wish that died before.
You know what that means? I don't have to race. I just have to not worry about e-buggy, and just focus on becoming an e-truggy champion.
Imagine in 2025, pro drivers go to a race for racing 4 classes. God, that...
I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah, I hope it won't.
There we go. Dacryman says e-garbage. Well, we know how he feels about e-buggy. I don't feel that way, by the way. I actually enjoy e-buggy and stuff. Thank you for this super sticker, man. Look, I swear I want to know who this guy is. I cannot figure out who he is, but he always gives us a super chat, always comments, and yeah, I love it. I love the support, man. 150 episodes, 3 years done. Super pumped for 2022. We got big things in the making, and we can't do it without you guys' support. So please continue to share, continue to listen. Share this podcast, leave reviews, negative or positive. We need to get, also go to our YouTube channel, and yeah, we're almost at 1,500 subs. We should be at 5,000. I know I'm not been putting too much work into the YouTube channel, but you know, I'm busy with other things. We have a TikTok. We have a whole lot of things going on. And the Discord. Please join the Discord. Max has been super busy in that. We do have, we do have the link for that here somewhere.
I try to act smart, and I put myself in all conversations there. So
yeah, Max is super eager and keen. Yeah, man. Thank you, Dacry, man. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate the support, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, man, it's been an awesome 150 episodes. I'm ready for the next 150. I'm ready to, let's go. Like it's time to go. Like, we've.
You feeling it now?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I love
feeling groovy.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it for our show, guys. Tune in on Friday. Max and I will do a short show on Friday talking about AMS. Hopefully, we'll have some coverage by then. Tune in. We're doing that live. What was the day? What time is it again on Friday, Max?
Yeah, I'll read up the times again. So it will be on Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then on Sunday it'll be 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you're an European, that'll be. Wait, I messed it up already. It'll say it's for Eastern Europe. It's 7 hours ahead of Eastern time. For Central Europe, 6 hours ahead of Eastern time. So,
Joseph, will you be joining us in any of these? Maybe Monday.
What time is it? Finish time?
Oh shit.
Around 12.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, because you're in vampire mode anyway. Like, out there editing videos. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't had time to edit videos, but
yeah,
I've been going to bed at like 5 and 6 a.m.
Yeah.
You and Max. That's why I had to wake Max up. He was taking a nap, and he wasn't ready. Anyway, guys.
Please, join the Discord.
Yeah,
we're close to 200. Let's try to get 200 this week.
Yeah, because when that Discord gets up to like 1,000 people, it's gonna be popping. It's popping now.
Yeah,
when it gets up to 1,000 people, it's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be the new starting grid, 2022 version. All right, I think that's it, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for the support for the last 3 years. It's been awesome. I hope we have been entertaining. We've been informative. We've definitely been scandalous, and definitely been, I wouldn't say we've been scandalous. We've definitely been non-PC. And I think that's the way you guys like it. We talk about the hard stuff that nobody else wants to talk about, and we will continue to do that. And our goal is to help make RC better, more exciting for everybody, because we are fans of racing. And if you're tuning into this race show, you are a fan of 8-scale racing, and that's why you like it. So thank you to everybody that supported us. Keep it up. We need it. We need you guys to keep putting us in those algorithms. What's up, Everett? How you doing, man? And thank you, D70. I appreciate that. Join our Discord. Everything, man. Thank you. Thank you to the Nnrc squad around the world. Thank you to the patrons of the podcast. Remember, if you wish to be a patron, you can find a link in this written description. And you know what? I want to say thank you to all the awesome sponsors of the podcast. They are Mayako, Beach RC, High Tech RCD, TNR Fuels, Techno RC, Donathan RC, JQSM, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, House of RC, Racecraft USA, Lugs Racing Tires, Sun City RC Raceway, rcgp. We got JQ Threads in there. All these people, please, guys. Links and coupon codes to all these sponsors are in the written description. If you're a company and you wish to be a part of, use the podcast as a advertising platform, we have limited spaces available in 2022. And yeah, let's just keep this going because we need the sponsor money. We need the Patreon money to keep things going. And man, I'm chuffed. That's the best word I could use. Chuffed. English. I'm chuffed. So chuffed at what we've done. What we've accomplished. You know what? I think one of my greatest compliments ever was a guy called us RC Comedians. And if you,
RC Comedians.
Yeah. He called Joseph and I RC Comedians. But if you really check it, RC comedians get their message across through laughter and insults, and they usually get their message across. So we're doing a good job. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you to RC. I got to name RC Kevin, Zach, Rowan, Connie of House of RC, David Isherwood, David Runnerfolk, Alexander Hagberg, all these guys who come on Jared Tebow, Wally, all these guys who have helped make this what it is. I appreciate it, and I couldn't do it.
Bornhost.
Should we sort of also appreciate sort of the running jokes we've had on the podcast as well?
Well, we would have to talk for another 20 minutes, and I'm not going to do that.
What are they anyway? So average Joe, I mean, Bornhost is one for sure.
That didn't start on the podcast, though. I think the funniest thing you've said, Joseph, was 10 scale cars like a vacuum cleaner going around a track. Vroom, vroom. Oh, I nearly died when you said that.
Nerds in the field.
Yeah, that was one of the best things to come out of this, Nerds in the Field. So lots of things. We're gonna include a lot of those in our new intro that we're doing. Man, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. Some idiot like me, you guys listen to us babble on. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you. And here's to the next 150. And here's to all of us making RC better, because it starts with you guys. We just bring the word. You guys have to implement it. Anyway, Joseph, anything you want to say before we leave? Max, anything you want to say before we leave?
No, nothing special.
Yeah. I mean, see you guys on Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Let's enjoy this last race, man. It'll be a while since we have another one of these big ones.
Yeah, it would be SIC or
probably SIC. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Montpellier.
Yeah, it would be a few months. So yeah, let's enjoy this one, guys.
To episode 420. Yeah, let's do it, baby. Episode 420. It's a long way away. But yeah, we're gonna do it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the continued support. We greatly appreciate it. Even JQ, that's his way of saying thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. He just says it in 2 words.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We appreciate everyone except Joey from SCRC and those Filipino guys. Few of them.
You and Joey love each other. Also, guys, Invisible Speed. Let's do a quick promo for that, Joseph. Invisible Speed.
Yeah, actually, I forgot. I'm such a bad salesman. So this coming week, we'll start planning that run-through, month-long run-through with David Ronefalk, Cole Ogden, Carl McBride, and Robert Baccier, right? So 8-scale off-road, that's what we're focusing on. So from now until next week, Sunday, you can still get in that program. If you order the full course, you'll be in. So you have, 10 days to order the course, and you'll be in that 4-week run-through. Awesome. Ask all the questions you want. Those drivers will be on Discord to answer. We'll have live calls, live chats, OnlyFans. It's going to be crazy.
OnlyFans?
Well, everybody's seen your penis, so that's all right.
Yeah. That's actually one of the highlights, too.
Yeah, if my uncle falls through, Jakey has another option.
No, but we didn't. We have it in one of the episodes, that story.
Yeah, we told the whole story. I'm still amazed at how he was able to write all that stuff on his uncircumcised.
Yeah, I mean it's big. It's
thick enough, so there's enough room. There's space,
Yeah, when you have a foreskin, you got plenty of space to write on. So
Okay, I think it's time to end the podcast, guys.
Yeah, this is live.
Uncircumcised heathens. All right. That's we couldn't do a podcast without a joke. So
this is the after dark section.
All right. You know what, man? Thank you for everything, and we'll see you guys on Friday. And thank you for tuning in to the 150.
Yeah, actually, in January, I'm gonna go to the DR and I'm gonna smack Lefty into gear. So we're gonna do podcast 2.0. There's a lot we need to fix, and maybe we can do 1 or 2 shows there while I'm there. So
it'd probably be fixed by the time he gets here, to be honest. But it'd be good to have you down here.
I don't think so.
And then we can bury you in a cane.
You need to fix Lefty. We can fix the rest.
I'm not
over
fixable,
here.
so I'm just me.
Yeah, I think next year our goal should be to raise enough money so you can fix your fucking GIMP arm.
Yeah. Someone has mentioned that
so
to me.
why don't you find out how much it is, and then next year I think we can do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Fix my arm.
Hashtag get Lefty and left arm.
You know what though?
Yeah, but what's your name gonna be then?
Lefty.
Yeah,
Blessings come in disguises. If I didn't get in my accident, we wouldn't be talking right now. So a left arm. A left arm is something I can give up. Help him clean the studio. The studio is clean. I'm cleaning it up now. Shut up, Salty Joe. Always got. Be quiet, Salty. You're always so salty. Got a name like Salty Joe. Yeah, let's get Lefty's arm fixed. Anyway, guys, we've been babbling on. Thank you. See you guys on Friday. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. You know what? Lefty, Beaker, Rupert Pumpernickel's, and the arrogant one, out.
The traitor.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
wasn't so bad.